Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and today we're going to talk about drama. Don't leave, we're talking about the idea of drama, not any specific shitstorm in deep detail. I'd planned to respond to Steve Shives' latest video, but then that fucker Edindro not only made a response, but the little shit hit almost every point I would have and a few more. What little could still be said was mostly covered when Baring picked up Ed's video and added to it. It's like these cunts are out to sabotage me. If you missed Steve's video, it's basically him being a condescending lying cunt explaining why he doesn't think some people should be allowed to speak. Well, they can speak, but only in certain places and on certain platforms.
Let them speak, but let it be from atop an apple crate on a street corner.
What? It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
Kinda looked like Richard Spencer was standing on a street corner. I don't think he was on an apple crate, which must be really important to Steve because this is what he had to say about Spencer getting sucker punched.
If I read the newspaper next week and the story is, oh, Richard Spencer is afraid to leave his house because every time he steps out his front door, somebody punches him, I'm going to say, good.
Steve takes apple crates really fucking seriously. If you're talking on the street corner and you're not on an apple crate, Steve wants you to be afraid to leave your house. Kinda fucked up, really. But that brings us back to Edindro and Baring. If they were real skeptics, they would have picked up on this obvious point, but those two buttholes were so busy talking about what they thought was important, they didn't pick up on everything I thought was important. What a couple of wankers. Speaking of wankers, Irate Bear put out what he considers to be content today, and that's what we're really going to discuss. I'm going to drop the act now because I really do enjoy content from all three of these guys, Edindro, Baring, and Irate Bear. Not Steve Shives. Steve's a fuck nugget. Links to all the videos are below, but don't watch Steve. Seriously, he's got shit for brains.
No one, not me, not you, no content creator is above criticism.
Irate Bear's latest video is about changes to his channel, but also about the difference between criticism and drama. It's a subject I've started making a video on at least 5 times, but never found quite the right angle to approach it. So I'm just gonna rip off this Sean King looking motherfucker.
Okay, so one of the biggest issues that I'm seeing amongst the skeptic community lately is the lack of ability to tell the difference between criticism and drama, and it's beginning to annoy me.
That may seem like a pretty self-evident point, but far too often any criticism, no matter how valid it may be, is seen as a personal attack that sets off a war. That's when criticism becomes drama. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say I hate drama. Nobody hates drama. You might hate personal drama or YouTube drama, but I guarantee there's a movie or a television show or even a song you like that is just dripping with drama. Personally, I love it all. YouTube drama can go on so long I get bored of it and wish the people involved would get back to their normal content, but I like a good dust-up once in a while.
Okay, so one of the biggest issues that I'm seeing amongst the skeptic community lately is the lack of ability to tell the difference between criticism and drama, and it's beginning to annoy me. There is a very, very big difference between criticism and drama. For example, my friend Miss Misa, for example, if I was to pop over to her channel now and tell her that her audio was a bit off, or she wasn't coming across very well, she wasn't articulating her arguments very well, then that would be criticism. There is also the type of criticism that comes in the video form. And we saw this recently when Logic made a video about Armored Skeptic. Yeah, he went in on him, but it was still criticism. Although you probably would have seen some drama-based comments in there.
Usually what separates drama from criticism is how the target of the criticism reacts. In the case of Logic and Armored Skeptic, that could have blown up. Armored had been tossing around the charge that anyone in a suit is a clone of him, and Logic made a video calling him out for his shit and pointing out how Armored Skeptic has borrowed quite a bit from others. This could have been huge drama. Logic was not kind in his call-out. He was blunt and unflinching. But he was also spot on in his criticism. To his credit, Armored Skeptic didn't lash out. He apologized for being such a dick. Whether he was just smart enough to know he was in a losing battle or he really got the message remains to be seen. In either case, he extinguished the fire rather than fanning the flame. I don't mind this sort of light drama because all of us need an ego check once in a while. Armored Skeptic may have started out joking about clones, but by the time he got called out, he seemed to believe his own bullshit. It didn't seem like a joke anymore. Frankly, if I got like that and my friends didn't call me out, once I came to my senses, I'd make videos calling them out for being pussies who didn't call me out. You have to have some ego to put yourself out there the way we do, but there's a difference between self-confidence and just being an arrogant prick.
Now, it's my personal opinion that there is a lack of criticism within our community.
I absolutely agree, and it's one of the reasons when there is disagreement, it so often turns into an ugly shit-throwing fest even a monkey can't quite stomach. Within this community, more than any other I've been associated with, there seems to be an expectation of groupthink and a horrible backlash against anyone who strays. I want to disagree with people in this community because it should be fun. My dream argument would be for Bering to say some really stupid shit so I can call him out. I think he'd have a thick enough skin to take whatever I say as an argument and not as a personal attack, and we could call each other's arguments fucking dumb without the other person turning into a quivering twat over it. But he's too much of a pussy to say anything I disagree with. Come at me, bro. I hate myself for that. I think we're going to see this whole idea that criticism is a personal attack become an even bigger issue in the community as Donald Trump's presidency goes on. In one of my videos, I just made a joke about having a meme for a president, and a few people were really not happy about it. As he does stupid shit, as all presidents do, I think we're going to see some people who just refuse to criticize him no matter how valid the arguments are. Some Dumb Americans' last video pointed out some of the flaws in Trump's first few weeks, and it was excellent. I don't care how much you support the guy, his press secretary's a fucking moron. Her video is also linked below. Any community needs to be able to take criticism without freaking the fuck out. Otherwise it's going to become an echo chamber and eventually it eats itself alive from the inside out, until only a few diehards are left. That's what we see with somebody like Steve Shives and his mindless YouTube feminist friends. They cannot take any criticism, and now it's to the point where they are openly advocating censorship and violence to keep from having their worldview harmed. We need criticism and even a little drama. It helps identify the shitheads and keeps us honest. Personally, I'd rather have somebody call me out than kiss my ass if I was being a moron like Steve. That's going to wrap up that subject, but I do want to get you guys' opinion on something. In a recent live stream with Irate Bear, Gutenberg, and a few others, we discussed the topic of whether or not the skeptic community even really has a place anymore, or if it's already overdone. Have all of the arguments been made? Is it boring? Is it stale? Or is there still a place for skeptics in this community? While we all have our opinions on the subject, your opinions are the ones that really matter. You're the audience. You're the ones that are coming back for more. It's my belief that as long as it's entertaining, people will keep watching. Even if we are making the same arguments, as long as we're making them in a new or interesting way, the audience will stay. Am I wrong? There are only so many ways we can discuss the wage gap. There's only so many ways we can point out that mansplaining and manspreading is just a stupid fucking thing to even be worried about. There's only so many times we can point out that feminists don't really seem to give a shit about where they would actually be needed in third world countries. Are you guys, as the audience, growing tired of the same old thing, or do you find that there are people who keep you entertained even though they're covering the same material? Is it even the same material if it's addressing a different person? Does it matter to you how it's presented? Do you prefer it if it's done in a humorous way, or do you prefer if it's done in a more serious, dry, by the book, here's the stats kind of manner? I'm asking you this because it's kind of important to what I do here. But even more important than that, I would like to gauge where you guys are as an audience. What you guys think about all this. I'm genuinely interested in your opinion. Now, there is some oversaturation in our market right now. There are a ton of skeptic channels, and that's not a bad thing. And to me, that seems to be a much bigger issue than whether or not we're even covering the same topics. I think part of the reason that it seems like we are covering the same topics so much is because there are so many of us covering them. Anyway, I'm just rambling right now. I would love to know your opinion on this subject if you'd leave that in the comments below, as well as any comments about the other parts of the video. Hell, I even appreciate it if you just want to stop and say hi. I've said it before, but I really do enjoy the audience interaction on this channel. It is my favorite part of what I do, and I don't get enough chance to ask you guys questions. And maybe that's something I'll work on doing more, asking your opinion instead of just forcing my opinion down your throats. Even when I can't answer them all, I really do appreciate every comment I get, and I thank you guys so much for even bothering to take the time to drop me a line. That's going to wrap up this one. Remember, sharing my content is a great way to show your support or just a way to piss off social justice warriors in your life. You can also show your support by becoming a monthly Patreon donor or purchasing something from the Monkey Store. You can follow me on social media if you just need a little bit more monkey in your life, and who doesn't? Thank you so much for watching. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I will see you next time. Your life makes me sad.